Anthony Slater here with Eric Horn. We're inside the bowels of Chesapeake Energy Arena again after a Game 6 stunner, colossal loss, potentially in the Thunder's franchise history. As always, our Thunder videos are brought to you by J. Marshall Squared, Oklahoma City's only big house apartment community. Eric, Warriors 108-101. Thunder really controlled this Game 6, had a chance, a spot in the NBA Finals on the line if they could pull it out. We're up 8 going into the fourth quarter, led most of the fourth quarter, melted down the stretch.
Another late game collapse for the Thunder, and
it had been a while.
Yeah. I mean, they played really well this postseason and closed out some good games. They closed out games against 2 65-plus win teams in San Antonio and Golden State. And tonight he got away from them in the last about 2 minutes, 47 seconds.
I think 4 or 5 turnovers in the last 2 minutes. Yeah. Didn't even get a shot off. Some of that was Russell Westbrook's passing. At one point, Durant got a big rebound and kind of just, he looked like he didn't want the ball. He kind of fumbled it right back. To the Warriors, really some poor plays there, but I think where you really need to start in this game is the Splash Brothers, particularly Klay Thompson hits 11 threes, an NBA playoff record, 41 points. I mean, he was huge throughout in the fourth, goes 5 of 6 from 3, outscores the Thunder 19-18 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Klay was outstanding. I mean, even when Steph Curry was struggling from 3 and from the field, the Thunder was defending Steph Curry really well up until the late stages of the fourth quarter. Klay was just outstanding throughout. I mean, he was hitting tough contested shots. He was scoring at the rim. He was really keeping the Warriors' confidence and keeping them offensively in the game while Steph built up time to get his shot going.
And Steph does hit 2 big threes, down the stretch. He hits the floater that kind of sealed the game. Foul trouble was a story I thought for the Thunder tonight. Andre Robertson, who's been so good on Klay Thompson, he had 4 fouls, and I think did he pick up his 5th before the fourth quarter? He picked up his 5th.
He picked up his 5th in the third
on a charge, right?
Yeah, offensive foul.
Yeah, so I mean that was a problem, but I think the story, from the Thunder side of things is Kevin Durant. And potentially, who knows what he's going to do in free agency? Is this his last game in Oklahoma City? It's possible. 12 of 31 shooting. He had some trouble late in the game with those turnovers, as we mentioned. When the stars on the Warriors are doing what they're doing, and then Kevin Durant, I think he was 0 of 6 from 3 in the first half. He hasn't shot the 3 well all playoffs. I mean, it's just a poor game from him. Offensively, he was fine defensively. But
he played well defensively again, but offensively it just wasn't a great game for him. And the worst part of it to me was, I mean, they did so well. He and Russell Westbrook are controlling the turnovers in the first half. They had 0 between them, and in the second half they have 8. And most of them are in that last stretch of the game. I mean, they had 5 turnovers. Yeah, in that last stretch where the Warriors ran off 9 points to close the game.
Yeah, really a stunned crowd. That was so good all game. I mean, the crowd was just excellent, probably as loud as I've heard it. But then, when the Warriors kind of pull away late, stunned, people lingered around the arena post game. Just shocked looks. They thought they were going to be celebrating, watching a trophy ceremony at half court. Now, this team has a just daunting task. They're going to fly tomorrow. They're going to fly to Oakland and play Game 7 in what will just be a raucous Oracle Arena.
Yeah, and we've seen the Thunder win these tough road games in the playoffs. I mean, they won Game 1 of this series. They beat the Spurs twice on the road, but it comes a point where you feel like you're really pushing it, trying to beat these elite, historic teams this many times on the road. So, I mean, it might be one of the toughest challenges any team's ever faced.
It would make for an incredible story to continue with this team, which has had an incredible playoff run. But the task, as I mentioned, it's a mountain. But Monday night, I believe, 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. out there Pacific. It should be interesting. But anyway, here are some of the key players in tonight's game talking about it.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoma. Kevin, it's a tough shooting night for you guys most of the night, but in the last 2 or 3 minutes, the offense ground to a halt. What happened those last 2 or 3 minutes?
They switched everything and tried to kind of close the pen up and get some shots. And, they got hot from the 3, so.
An emotional game. Emotionally, what was missing coming down the stretch?
Nothing emotional.
What's the level of excitement right now in that locker room to play Game 7?
We know we got another game to play. We're excited about that. We get another opportunity. And we came in here at 8, so we got another game to play. So, it's pretty high right now.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. How much of, you said they got hot from 3, how much of that was just them getting hot? How much of it was you guys losing them defensively?
I thought we did a good job of contesting 3s. And Thompson had some tough ones overhand. Curry had some tough ones overhand. So, You know, that's what they do. But you got to live with some of those. You know, they make some tough moves, and they got out of transition in threes too. So, you know, I thought we played extremely hard. They shot 41% from the floor, and he made 21 threes.
Either one of you, you guys were up 5 at halftime. Did it feel like it should have been more? It kind of seemed like you outplayed by more than that.
I mean, it was a 5. We felt comfortable out of the gate. You know, we could have played better, especially the first half. But I think we even started the third better than they did, so which was great. But you know, when we did come up through it.
Myron Pat Box. Does it help that you got the game so close, or would you like to have more time to kind of correct some things in practice?
It's a 7 game of the series. You know, we know exactly what they do. They know exactly what we do. So, you know, it's just a matter of who wants to do it. I think both teams went out there and played extremely hard. They made more shots than we did. You know, and especially from the 3. You know, so that's the name. That was the name of the game tonight.
Dean Blevins, News 9, Oklahoma City. Russ, besides the 3-pointers, what key points do you see in the ball game? What do you think was the difference between winning and losing?
I mean, just like Kevin said, they were making some tough shots. I thought we played hard for you know, most of the game, and you know, they just made more shots than we did.
Yeah, Barry Tran with the Oklahoma. Russell, you guys took care of the ball really well in the first half. I think you only had 3 turnovers, a few more in the second half, and then you had 5 or 6 down the stretch. What happened with the ball handling and the ball security late in the game that you did differently? Or
they got the handle some balls. You know, they trapped, made us make some decisions, but you know, for the most part, I thought we try to make the right plays and make the right decisions, especially down the stretch.
Any more questions?
Kevin, they seem to like you, the matchup with Iguodala. Do you like the shots that you're getting with him on you?
Yeah. I like my shots. It's a matter of me going in. Like I said, when I drive to the rim, they bring guys at me, so I got to make them do a better job of making an extra pass. So, you know, I wish I could have got a lot of those shots back. I felt great in a lot of them, but that's just how it is.
Brian Brinkley, KFOR TV, for either one of you. Both teams have shown that they can win on the other team's home floor. What's your mindset going out there? You played fairly well there in the 3 games in Oakland.
Want to go home? Simple as that.
One more. John, last one.
John here at KCRC. Billy Donovan mentioned that you guys are playing 40-plus minutes. He said fatigue may or may not have been a factor with you two. How did you guys feel about that coming down the stretch in the 4th quarter? Did you feel tired at all?
Well, our team needs us on the floor. You know, with us 2 on the floor, we give ourselves a great chance to win. So you got to fight through it. It's late in the season. Everybody will play their best players in this time. So, you know, we got to play 48. We got to play 48. So we're going to give it our all. We've been doing that all season, and tonight was no different. And next game won't be any different as well.
Thank you, guys.
In that second half, or did anything maybe you just knock him down out there?
I knew I got good looks in those first few minutes of the game, and we all really didn't want this to be our last game. And me and Steph, we got on our shot. But I'm not out there being aggressive and just, you know, not really trying to help my shot and effective. So it was one of those nights where you make a few easy looks early, and then you take those 31st with your feet not set, and you just have to keep going. And I was just trying to stay aggressive.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoma Klay. The last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, they got nothing offensively. Hard pressed to get off the shot. What was going on with your defense? You did a good job with Westbrook, Durant all night long, but those last 2 or 3 minutes, you just grounded the door ball.
Give credit to Andre Iguodala. The whole game, you know, whether Durant made a shot or not, he was trying to beat him. He was trying to make it tough on him. And we realized he's one of the best scorers in the world. He's going to make tough shots. But over 48 minutes, we'll live with it. And our whole defense out there, you know, everyone was on a string. We played for each other. You know, we had to clean up the offensive rebound a little bit, but Other than that, everyone was just alert in the right position and not trying to let them get any easy looks and score with the top of us.
Klay, games 3 and 4 here in the second quarter completely got away from you guys. There were some moments tonight when it looked like that could happen, but you guys held. What was the difference? What was going through your mind at that time?
Instead of, 18-2 or 20-4 run, it might have been 9-2 or 10-2, and that's a huge difference because we got a team with great spurt ability that can make up that lead in no time. And instead of giving them a 20-point lead at times, we were down 10, and it's only 3 or 4 possessions for us. So we got discouraged when we knew they were going to make a run. They're playing at home, great atmosphere, and I'm just happy with the way we responded because there were plenty of times where we could have, not played as hard as we did, and the guys,
It was a hard-fought game by both teams. I thought in the first half for us offensively, I really thought we had really good ball movement. I thought we generated some very good looks. We had a tough time, I thought, in the first half making shots. I think it was fortunate for us. I think they probably had some difficulty too making some shots. And then I thought in the fourth quarter, obviously, the performance by Klay Thompson and how well he shot the ball. And then, I felt like we didn't do a great job, coming down the stretch. And I think we made such great improvements coming down the stretch in terms of just on both offense and defense of doing a better job of executing. And that really hasn't been us, the last month and a half. And I thought we got a little stagnant coming down the stretch. And I thought us defensively, we were a little bit late. We made some tough shots. And they made some plays, but 7-game series. I'm excited. I think our guys are too about the opportunity to play again.
Barry Trammell, the Oklahoma Billy, particularly the last 2 minutes where you didn't really get a shot off, much less a good one. What happened to the offense in those last 2 minutes?
Well, I think a couple times, Barry, we got into some late clock situations. I think on some of the switching, we needed to have better awareness rolling back. I think some guys, when they did switch, had some opportunities to kind of go. We didn't. That happened twice on the side of the bounce plays. And maybe I need to do a better job of explaining that, in the timeouts. But I also thought, like in the half court, I just didn't feel like we ran our offense with the pace and the tempo that we needed to run. And I thought we kind of got into it a little bit slowly. When I say slowly, in terms of we got the ball where it needed to go, but it never really kind of moved from there. And again, I think we've done a good job. I thought we made some really positive strides, but over the last month and a half or since the playoffs started. But I thought we got a little stagnant offensively, no question.
Myron Packdale, Cage, Fox 25. Tough game. It's not a game 7, but certainly you didn't want to go back out west. What was your message to the team? You got in the locker room, but you know why you lost. So what was your message to them about game 7?
Well, again, I think a couple of things. Looking at the game, we defended, I thought, really well in the half court. But we really got hurt at the 3-point line, and we got hurt on some long rebounds. And obviously, it's really hard to overcome 21 3-point shots that they made. But I also thought our guys gave great effort, on both ends of the floor. But I think the opportunity to go back and play again, is what I'm excited about. I think this group just being around has been pretty resilient, tough-minded group in terms of being able to bounce back quickly and go out and play.
Michael Penny, coach, Kevin, 10 of 31 from the field. Obviously, second straight game where he's not shooting particularly well. What do you think of his shot tonight, especially some of the ones he took there in the fourth quarter?
Well, I really thought early in the game he got really good looks. He had a couple drives to the basket, he didn't quite finish. I thought he had a couple good looks from 3. He got the ball, I thought, in some really good areas of the floor. Where he caught the basketball, sometimes I think for Kevin, with as much as he gets, I'm not using this as super grabbed and held and he kind of breaks. Sometimes putting your head down and driving it and creating, is almost like the next best thing there. But I just didn't feel like at times collectively as a group just with the execution part of it, that we helped him from screening angles and things like that, things we were trying to run. I thought Golden State was able to block some of those plays, which made it difficult. And now he got caught with the ball where we just didn't help each other enough in those situations, in my opinion. Just sitting from the bench, I'll maybe a different pulse tomorrow watching the film, but that's what I felt.
Can you just talk about the second half, and especially the fourth quarter, just wasn't able your Warriors to be able to come back and take the lead and be able to hold on to it?
Well, obviously, Klay Thompson was ridiculous. I mean, the shooting was some of the most incredible shooting you'll ever see. I mean, I think he set a record for threes. But our defense was fantastic. We kept getting stops and we couldn't get the board, but we stayed with it. And I think we just defended really well and came up with key stops. And then obviously Steph and Klay both were really going there in the fourth.
Tim Calcone, referees, what are you telling them? So let's say you start the fourth quarter down 8.
Yeah.
Are you just saying just stay in it? What are you telling them at this point when it looks like maybe things aren't going your way?
Yeah, just stay with it. Stay with it. We know how explosive our guards are in particular, and we've got other guys who can knock down threes. And main thing was getting stops and getting rebounds. And we fought hard on the glass tonight, 49-43. It wasn't the debacle that games 3 and 4 were, obviously. So fought hard, made enough stops, and got enough rebounds to just give our offense a chance. And both, as I said, both Klay and Steph hit huge shots. Harrison hit a big 3 from the corner. And I thought Andre Iguodala was kind of the unsung hero. His defense throughout the fourth was huge. And then we made that big tying lay-in too with a couple minutes.
No. That's the whole point. We want him to do everything he can. He's one of the best players on the world, so we want him to be aggressive as he can. And us as a team support him and trust him and Russ. So we give them that freedom. And, hopefully make a play, and we could do the best we can to put them in the situations that they need to be in.
How hard is it to, after a game you've had most of the game tonight, to lose a heartbreaker like this, travel halfway across country and play game 7?
How hard is it?
Yeah, to bounce back from this.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we've that's what we've done before. So I mean, we just gotta be ready, man. It ain't. I mean, it's just like we take the loss now. It's just all the game down to is just a couple of mistakes, man. It's always like we're right there. So. Once we get those cleaned up, then I think we'll be solid. But if you ask about like our spirit in the team, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty fun. Obviously, we lost a game. The boys aren't happy, so they'll spend our time all bounce back.
What did Billy tell you guys afterwards?
Just to be ready that it's a series. That's exactly what it is. We knew that it was going to be a battle. We didn't expect to. We knew we had to earn it. So.
How much pressure were you guys feeling in the last 5 minutes of that game?
How much what?
How much pressure were you guys feeling in the last 5 minutes of that game?
I guess it's just same old end of the game situations. We've been there a lot and try to make some plays. And I guess the whole team, like we knew what was at stake, but we've been in that situation before, so it was kind of we're used to it.
Do you feel like you missed a chance to extend the lead more in the first half?
Yeah. If we made our shots, then yeah.
Anything else from Steve? Yeah.
Steven, Kevin and Russell had no turnovers at halftime, and in the second half they had 8. I mean, what do you think changed in the second half in terms of their ball security?
I haven't watched the video, but I'm not sure. Could be anything. I always say that it's probably on us when just being open, trying to get more space for trying to make the right play, which is usually to like me or Dre or Serge. So probably most of them come off that we probably need to do a better job at getting open for them, making it easier pass and more secure pass or whatever, or just get out of their way type thing. So yeah, probably spacing. Probably comes down to that, bro. Just at the top of my head.
we'll be in a much better position going into late in games. But we just locked in, played defense well. We've been playing the last 2 games, and it worked out for us.
Andrew, Steve talked about your guys had more grit tonight than you did in games 3 and 4. How did that show? In what way do you think?
We just stuck with it. I think we stay within striking distance, like I said earlier. I think if we can keep the game close with the shooters that we have on this team, the scorers, things weren't going right for us for 3 quarters, man. You know, they were getting to the line, they were knocking down tough shots, they were getting loose balls. We had a lot of easy missed shots around the basket, and we turned it over a couple of times, but we stuck with it. We kept it close, and as I said, Klay and Steph go bang towards the end of the 4th quarter and win us a game.
Andrew, Durant and Westbrook had 0 turnovers at halftime. Second half, they had 8 combined. What changed defensively for you?
Honestly, not a whole lot. We didn't change a whole lot. I mean, Andre's an all-league defender, one of the best defenders I've ever played with. But you know, those 2 guys have to play 40-plus minutes for a game. So over the course of a series, we hope it works in our favor going into a Game 7. That you know, there's a lot of tired legs out there going into Game 7. And making those tough shots that those 2 guys do, you know, after playing 35, 40 minutes in Game 6 and for the whole series. We didn't